up? What up? What up? Y'all, welcome, man. Welcome back to the Blaze, man. What y'all got going, man? Huh? What y'all got going? Blaze back? Yeah. Yeah, Blaze back. Yeah. Blaze back, nigga. Oko, what's going on? Maya, bro, what's going on? Chad, what his name is? Shaz? What your name is? What the hell kind of name is that, man? Appreciate the light, man. Appreciate the love, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Cindy, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? It's so dark, cause nigga, I'm in the car. Nigga ain't got the car light on. And y'all want the light on? Damn. Here you go. Look, it's bright enough. Is it bright enough for you? Is it bright enough for you? What did I just doing? Hey, Dirt, man. Hey, man. Just welcome to the Blaze, man. What you talking about? What you just joined? Welcome to the Blaze. What you mean, nigga? Nice to meet you, nigga. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't be an asshole. Damn. Don't be a motherfucking asshole, nigga. I'm live. I'm trying to get subscribers. I'm trying to get my, you feel me? I gotta get my subscribers, man. Gotta get the world to know me, man. What you mean? Blaze got shit to do. Man, fuck you, nigga. You just mad because you ain't me. You ain't Blaze, nigga. You ain't Blaze. Blaze ain't came back in your algorithm. You mad. You mad, nigga. Well, I'm in the car because I want to be in the car, nigga. I want to be live in the car. What the fuck you mean? Why I'm in the car? Why you worry about where I'm at? Talking about why I'm in the car. Like I'm supposed to be somewhere else. You feel me? What the fuck? Nigga, I'm chilling, nigga. I'm chilling. That's why I'm in the car. I'm chilling. I want to go live in the car. What y'all got going, man? What's going on in the world, man? Talk to me, man. Y'all niggas don't be saying shit, man. Y'all just be talking. Y'all don't be saying shit, man. You feel me? And then bro over there talking about Dirty Two or whatever his name is. You feel me? He talking about some motherfucking his lame ass da-da-da. Nigga, your lame ass comment. Nigga, how about that? You's a lame ass commenter, nigga. What could you talk about? Appreciate the like. You say, I hope I get a lot of followers. Me motherfucker too. Shit, share the live. Nigga, make sure you share the live. Get it out there, man. Get people in there, man. I hope I get a bunch of them too. Nigga. I need it. Rudy Green from North Korea. Shout out to North Korea, man. You know, I fought with North Korea, man. Ain't no beef over here in Tay's world. You know what I'm saying? Shit just going on. Shit just going on. But I fuck with all my people, you feel me? Everybody, man. I'm only one person. You know? I ain't the world. I'm only one person. So I gotta account for what I do. You feel me? And at the end of the day, I gotta understand that it ain't too big for me to accomplish because I'm only one person. You know, it's an upside and it's a downside to that. You feel me? You know, oh shit. The light cut off. The light. I'm trying to give y'all ass some light. Dog, appreciate the light, though. Go live in the dark. See who fuck with the blaze, man. Yeah.
Obey traffic laws, be alert, and use voice commands while driving.
For real, though, man. What y'all got going, man? What's up, man? What y'all got going? Y'all quiet as fuck. Y'all some lame ass commenters. Look at this lame ass commenters, man. Don't comment right. You feel me? Lame ass live, lame ass comment. You feel me? I don't want to interact with the blade. It's late. But shit, I came in, man. I came in. I came in and participating. I came in. Let's see what's going on in the world. Let's see about North Korea. Since my bro say he got North Korea on there, man. Let's talk about North Korea. Let's see what's going on in North Korea. Let's see North Korea.
This is what North Korea looks like in 2025. They just allowed tourists in the country for the first time in 5 years, but Americans are still banned. So I sent my friend from Latvia there to see what it looks like, and she was shocked. But the craziest thing is what happened to her later that night. So just like when I visited 10 years ago, all foreigners have to be with official guides at all times. You can't leave your hotel or do anything outside of the prearranged, government-approved itinerary. But there's a secret way that you can explore on your own without breaking any laws. If you run in the Pyongyang Marathon, you can go for a morning run outside of your hotel without a tour guide. Well, there's literally no one around me. Just me. But if you miss breakfast, they will look for you. After breakfast, they take you to different monuments in Pyongyang, and you have to bring flowers and bow in front of the main statue. After a tour of the city, you can buy a propaganda poster in the gift shop, and they take you for lunch and then dinner and drinks. But she couldn't believe what happened after dinner. It's Friday evening, about 9 p.m. We're casually walking on the streets. And right as we walked on that street, it suddenly started to play Korean music really loudly. Is that a coincidence, or was it just for us to impress? We'll never know. This is what North Korea looks like.
Yeah. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all don't play with their ass, huh? Everybody come here gotta get a tour guide. You gotta have a tour guide, but you can run in the morning without a tour guide. But you gotta have a tour guide when you walk around. Your ass don't cut the breakfast.
This is what North Korea looks like.
Damn, you don't cut the breakfast, they gonna come find you. God damn, North Korea. Well, y'all aggressive. But I understand it though. I feel you.
Back at it again. Back at it again. And today we were headed to one of the world's most dangerous borders. The DMZ, Demilitarized Zone, at the border of North Korea. I've always wanted to go here ever since I saw Jesse and Charles Truby and all of them come to Korea.
About 27 minutes here in North Korea.
Yeah, you can't quite do it the way that they hopefully learn from the defectors.
Oh, I gotta get a screen.
It's going to be really neat. Yeah, because we heard stories about someone running across the border a couple years ago, and they just shut it down since then. But we were getting a tour guide from one of the Korean military men. It'll be like a more authentic experience.
What's going on?
Yeah, I think we get to go in the tunnel that they normally use to escape from North Korea. No, that North Korea built secretly. Oh, that North Korea secretly built. So that is going to be really neat, and this is just going to be an amazing day. We learned from the tour yesterday to get these hand pockets. Oh. They have been saving our lives. So that's why I don't have gloves on anymore, because the gloves, for some reason, accepted the cold and held it in, and my fingers got super frosty. But these are lifesavers. These make gloves, just have no purpose. The gloves don't do anything. These are awesome. And a hot coffee. If you guys ever wanted to get coffee in South Korea, there's a coffee shop right here. There's a coffee shop right here. There's a coffee shop right
South
here.
Korea.
And there's a Starbucks at the end. So if you ever need a coffee fix, it's never too far away. Instead of walking out in the elements, South Korea also has...
Why y'all saying South Korea? Y'all banned from we can't even go. They banned us from that.
This is what $10 can get you in a North Korean department store in 2025. But the craziest thing is what you can't get. Watch until the end to find out. So if you go to North Korea, this is what you can buy. But hold on, North Korea is completely shut off for tourists, right? So how do we get in? Well, they let a select group of foreigners in the country this year for the Pyongyang Marathon. just not Americans. But my friend Annette was able to go. And after the marathon, you can go shopping with a tour guide by your side, of course. First, you had to exchange your money for Korean won at this counter. And if you exchange too much, you can't take any of the money out of the country with you. The first thing you'll notice is that everything is super expensive. The cheap stuff with packaged foods like chips and noodles. A tomato flavor and beef flavored noodle costs about $3 each. A bag of seaweed chips, $2.50. Luckily, this little packaged pastry was only $1.20, but it would be easier to tell you what you cannot buy for $10. This pack of nut bars was $27. This black tea, $74, and these cookies were $33.
What I noticed so far is that they don't have any coffee here in this store, and they don't have any kind of chocolate bars.
This is what $10 can get you in a North Korean department store in 2020.
Damn, y'all shit high in the motherfucker out there. Y'all live worse than us.
So if you go to North Korea, this is what you can buy. But hold on, North Korea is completely shut off to tourists, right? So how do we get in? Well, they let a select group of foreigners in the country this year for the Pyongyang Marathon. Just not Americans. But my friend Annette was able to go. And after the marathon, you can go shopping with a tour guide by your side, of course. First, you had to exchange your money for Korean won at this counter.
Oh, you know what? Y'all shit probably don't cost that much. Tourists, wherever they go, in certain malls, certain shops y'all could go to. Yeah, they ain't gonna let you go here. They ain't gonna let you go there. Yeah. So y'all going to all the high shit. Yeah. Tell them over there. Yeah, make them spend all their money. Bring it over here. Yeah, they gonna spend all of it.
This is what $10 can get you in a North Korean department store in 2025.
I went to North Korea and I cried after I left because this is the most depressing country. You can enter North Korea on a guided trip only because inside there is no Wi-Fi, no Facebook, no TikTok, no Christianity, no Islam, and no connection with the outside world. The streets are so empty because people cannot afford cars. The TV is all about praising Korea, and the festivals are all about the army. Do not be fooled. They are still poor. That every now and then electricity is gone. North Korea is like an open air prison. And when you leave it, soldiers have to check your phone just to check. On the train out, I cried of sadness because there is no solution to the average North Korean. Their country is and will remain a prison. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. I went to North Korea and I cried.
Did you know that you can take a vacation to North Korea? You can do a guided tour where you will stay in a special hotel and be escorted to every location by Korean officials for approximately $2,500. According to the people who have done this, they are not allowed to interact with the locals at all. They say that nearly all the people there had never left their country and don't know anything about the outside world. Considering only government officials have access to internet over there, they're usually unfamiliar with the idea of social media. Photos are allowed to be taken in some places, except where there is military. You will lose internet access for the duration of your stay, and your hotel room will be thoroughly inspected every time you leave. Anytime you pass a poster or statue of Kim Jong-un, they're encouraged to bow and pay their respects. And if you don't, things can get very tense and awkward. Did you know that you can take a vacation?
If you go to North Korea and break the rules, you could end up in jail or even worse. Here are 3 things you cannot do in North Korea. Number 1, you cannot disrespect past or current leaders as they are viewed as gods. Never mention their names, even if it's positive, because it's an extremely sensitive topic. Every tourist is required to bow when visiting the Kim Il-sung statue. Number 2, you cannot take photos of government buildings, police, or construction. Why? Because the government wants North Korea to seem completely perfect, and any unfinished building does not represent perfection. Number 3, you cannot leave your tour group at any time unless you run in the Pyongyang Marathon, which I did, which gives you 4 hours of unsupervised time. Even when you return to your hotel, they lock the doors and you cannot leave the property. Other strict rules prohibit using local currency, going into random shops, and talking to strangers or stealing anything. But as long as you can use common sense, you are in for a rare look at one of the world's most isolated
shit.
Thanks
No
for
bad,
watching.
y'all.
See you in the next video. If you go to North
A 6-figure job in tech.
You probably think no one can enter North Korea, but they just let in a few foreign tourists, and things look totally different than when
We want to spread the youth.
That shit real, man. Y'all don't play no game, boy. They don't believe in nothing but. They pretty much give it, and they get crazy parties. I don't know. Certain people will look at that as bad, but they don't, because they don't know anything about anything.
First British tourist to gain access to North Korea in over 5 years. I am not a journalist. I have no political agenda, and I do not support the regime of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Welcome to the very, very cold Yanji, northeast China. 20 kilometers in that direction lies a country so secretive that when I was flying in, we had to close the blinds on the windows of the plane because we weren't allowed to look outside. Tomorrow morning, I'll be among the first group of non-Russian tourists in over 5 years to step foot inside North Korea. Without any further ado, roll the cliche intro featuring a compilation of news reporters saying the words North Korea over and over and over and over again.
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea. North Korea.
British travel influencer Mike O'Kennedy, one of the first Western tourists to visit North Korea since before the pandemic.
Looks like North Korea's back on the menu, boys. It's the most isolated country on Earth, and since January 2020, it's been completely closed to the outside world. Until now. While 13 of North Korea's administrative divisions remain closed, one has opened up. Razom. Not only is it the one place in the world where Russia, China, and North Korea, the three bad boys of Eastern politics, stand side by side, it also happens to be North Korea's controlled experiment with foreign trade. Come with me on this two-part series as we step into the most
Look
secretive
how you looking. Look,
isolated
look how they looking at the cameras. Oh my God. They like, who the fuck? What the fuck? Like the people there like, what's that? They don't know what's going on, but y'all don't be knowing what's going on. Y'all really know what's going on, but y'all don't know what's going on. Some people really don't know what's going on.
That's because North Korea is unlike anywhere I've ever been. I like to do things solo, unaccompanied, whereas I'm going to be very accompanied.
They all looking like, man, they done let this, when they got to come here tour. Yeah, you better keep their ass in line. Keep their ass in line. And they right, they keep their ass in line. Yeah, keep their ass away from us.
I also like to do things as uncensored as possible. Now, this is North Korea. The rules are different. I'd imagine there's going to be things that we can and can't do, things we can and can't see. But what we're going to do is what we always do and go in with an open mind, with an unbiased perspective, and I promise you, I'll be showing you exactly what it is I see. Now, I've got to get out of this fucking forest. This is the Chinese border going into North Korea, and it's a border that quite literally hasn't been used in over 5 years by a tourist. It'll be interesting to see what the Koreans check. My phone, my camera, my
They
passport.
need their money,
My
so they just let them do it over there.
America world, please.
Get a little
Try and
spot
document the
somewhere.
entire process.
I don't know what why they let them do it right there for some reason.
Water separating China and North Korea. Our passports were checked, stamped, and then we were instructed to list every electronic device in our possession.
Why did y'all
Our
let
list
them
had to
do it
match
in
our
that
items
spot?
on the way out. Not because they're worried about what we might take with us, but because they're concerned about what we might leave behind. You're not allowed to bring anything that could be considered politically sensitive, such as a book about North Korea or a USB containing external political content.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, we're in North Korea. Let's see what planned adventures there are for us over the next 5 days. Starting with a bus through the countryside and see what we can see.
But Americans, they don't like. It ain't even that they don't like us. Like I see y'all, it ain't that they don't like us. It's just the way I don't know. It's just the way we think. I guess everybody don't think the same. Maybe somebody like me go over there to appreciate the art, appreciate the culture, appreciate the things.
80% of North
Yeah,
Korea
but
covered in
everybody,
mountains.
not everybody
Every
can go.
available piece of usable land is dedicated to farming, and I mean every single piece. This isn't just due to necessity, but also stems from the country's core ideology of self-reliance, which prioritizes producing as much of its own food as possible rather than depending on imports. You're also told that the country doesn't use any form of chemical fertilizer. The residents are asked to collect their own bodily waste, which is then taken to the fields and used as organic compost. Being a socialist communist country, there are no advertisements in North Korea. Instead, almost everywhere you look, you'll see this government propaganda designed to inspire the people. This one says, unwavering loyalty. We had 5 North Koreans with us, 3 guides, a driver, and a photographer. They were very friendly, always polite, and they did their absolute best to make sure that we felt at ease. But no matter how welcoming they seemed, there was no shaking this feeling that we were being watched, always. So walking into the nature reserve now, as much as I love, this is where this trip's going to be really tough for me, because as much as I love going around and seeing the things that they want you to see, the deer park, and we're going to visit a bank, which is going to be very interesting. What I'm interested in is what's going on up beyond those mountains, and in these villages. I've got a feeling there's not going to be a lot of human interaction on this trip, which makes me very sad. Give me a bag of your finest. A bag of your finest carrots, please, sir. I'll take whatever you've got. I'll take some corn. Get some corn. Thanks, dude. There you go, dude. So they raised them. One of the reasons they raised them, for me, is one of them, and also they.
See the people, y'all, they was happy as hell. They was like, look, now we get money. Look, we get money, get paid. Look, you bring them in. Look, they don't give a damn about you, man. I swear. If y'all, man, I'm telling you.
Oh, you're scaring him off. You were scaring him off. Oh, fucking hell. I'm getting attacked by North Korean deers. Don't worry, I'm not from America. I'm not from fucking hell.
I'm not from
I said the
America.
word America and they've all gone nuts.
Damn, that's crazy, dog. That's how y'all feel. I'm not American. Damn.
Every time they see a white dude now,
appreciate the light.
Come with me to visit a mineral water factory. Yay. Mr. Moon, you said this is a factory. Yeah. This is a factory. Where are the factory workers? The people working here? The day today is Saturday? Thursday. Thursday? Yeah. What I just noticed, this is a mineral water factory. The water runs straight from the mountain into this building, and there is kind of like a grotto. I'll get some more videos with my camera, with my phone. Kind of like a grotto where there's just water pouring out and a cup where you can go drink the water, and nothing else here, and no one else here. Let me show you what this thing looks like on a good camera. A little bit of the old. What do you say? Don't drink too much of it, because you could get sick. Good. Pretty much every individual house I saw in this region looked exactly the same. Simple white walls with blue roofs. In North Korea, all property is owned by the state, and the people don't get to choose where they live. Housing and living arrangements are largely influenced by a family's political, social, and economic background. However, many believe that this traditional system is becoming outdated, with financial wealth playing an increasingly dominant role over social status. One thing that really impressed me were these new rural housing developments. My guide told me the government is currently building 500 high-quality homes in every county per year. With 145 counties across the country, that's a huge number of houses being put up. Hi, how are you? North Korean hotel room.
Appreciate the like, y'all.
2025. What do we have? Coffee, tea, water. I think this is a heated bed scenario. That'd be nice. We've got a phone. Let's try and call someone. Hello, I'd like to speak to literally anyone outside of North Korea. The windows have been sealed shut. We love that. We do love that.
Damn, the window shield shut.
First impressions of North Korea. We spent 2 hours traveling on a bus from the border of China. I reckon I saw about 20 people in that time. Not a lot of people, no cars, maybe like 1 or 2 taxis in that whole journey.
They emptied it out. They moved everybody up. They told everybody to stay in the house. And they told, man, they said let them people come in, get their ass and see it and get their ass home. That's pretty much what they're doing. You can't sleep with the women. You can't do it. You can't do that. You just come in here just to see it leave.
Visited part of North Korea even before COVID, and it's very, very interesting. A lot of foreign investment. Think of it as a kind of experiment by the North Koreans to introduce some form of capitalism into the country. I'm going to learn about it. We're going to look around. We're here for 5 days, man. Forget about it. Chill out, man. Chill out. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Ugh.
We smoke the cigarette. You motherfucker be smoking.
Okay, I guess I'm buying a whole deck of ciggies then.
So those are 727s.
Yeah.
727 stands for 7/27/1953, the day of the end of the Korean War. The most expensive one and the most nationalistic one, and the one smoked by Chairman Kim.
Thank you, madam. So the cigarettes I bought back there in the souvenir shop, I used Chinese money for. Now you might be thinking, Mike, you're in North Korea. What are you doing using Chinese money? Rason, the district I'm in at the moment, is a special economic zone, which means that its economic policies differ from the rest of the country. Now, let's speak to someone who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, because I don't. Justin, what makes Rason different, and why is it a special economic zone?
So a special economic zone, such as Rason, invites foreign investment. So we have a lot of Russian and Chinese companies that are doing business here. It gives Northeast China easy access to the Rajin port. Also, Vladivostok, the port there, freezes over for about half the year, so it gives the Russians access to a port that isn't frozen in the region.
Yeah.
And it also gives the DPRK the opportunity to earn hard foreign currency, which they can then put into social programs that are used to prop up
The rest
of the country and social programs on which the DPRK exists.
Right up the way.
This is the Golden Triangle Bank in Rajin, and I've just gone and opened up my own North Korean bank account. I'm supposed to say cash card, but it's a North Korean bank account, and North Korean DPRK money, which you can not spend. Really, this is primarily used by locals to pay their monthly electricity and water bills, which comes to a whopping 5 US cents per month. And this is about £1, and I've got about 13,000 DPRK money. Big TV screen out on the street playing a children's cartoon, and it looks like locals have gathered around to watch it. Let's go and take a look. Hello, sir. How you on, man? How are you? It's quite nice that even having that very, very minute interaction with that man, shaking his hand and getting a smile from him. That is the absolute most interaction I've had in the entire day with any member of the public here in North Korea. It's a strange atmosphere here in North Korea, and it's one that I fully expected. I mean, there's Like literally, other than the group I'm with, no one here. It's strange. There's one lady there. Hi. Also finding it incredibly strange to like not be able to
They told them not to
just
go
go
up.
and do my own thing.
Clearly, they were mad. They were mad people came. They were mad they let y'all in.
Go and have food. You just always with. We've got 4 guides with us. 4 people watching us at all times.
Mm.
Did the past 5 years, there's been no travelling for you between here and Pyongyang? Okay. Is that because of COVID or anything? Yeah, very serious. Was COVID here for the whole 5 years? How long did COVID's situation last? Okay, can I ask you later? Okay, great. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, sir. No camera. As you can see, my guy wasn't comfortable talking about COVID on camera. But off camera, he told me that the virus was sent over in a package attached to a balloon from South Korea. It spread fast, but thanks to Kim Jong-un's quick action, North Korea completely contained the outbreak in exactly 90 days. Honestly, that's not too hard to believe, considering how easily the country can lock things down and control its people. There is a strong possibility that I was the drunkest man in North Korea yesterday. Apparently, the soju, so there's a very popular alcohol in Korea, South Korea and North Korea, called soju, which is made from, don't fucking know, and it's apparently the one that they have in North Korea, because of the products that are all domestically produced. For example, the cigarettes and the alcohol, they're domestically produced and they're organic. So apparently, the alcohol doesn't really give you a hangover. What are we doing today? We're going to a bookshop, a North Korean bookshop. The government-approved authors, government-approved themes about the party, basically. And then we're going to maybe buy some propaganda memorabilia. And then we're going to go see some schools, a secondary school and an orphans school, which is like the secondary school, but the kids don't have parents. So that'll be fun for the orphans. Hey kids, today we have a surprise for you. A fat, hungover white dude is coming to look at you. This is a foreign language bookshop, and I'd say 99% of the material here is about the leaders, about the party. There's that. Thank you. So these are anti-American propaganda postcards, knives, and these are American soldiers here. God. I'm actually running a giveaway where I'll be personally writing and sending these postcards to 5 people. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and message me telling me one thing that you learned from this video. Warning, if you're from the US and you get one, it might come with a visit from the National Security Agency. Big North Korean soldier, lots of American soldiers in a crash plane up here. This is a bottle of North Korean rattlesnake brandy, and it's supposedly a classic drink here in DPRK. I'm going to get a bottle of it, and I'll update you on whether or not I can actually leave, not just DPRK, but get out of China with this thing. One of the guys picked up this book on Juche, North Korea's core ideology. In simple terms, it promotes total self-reliance, politically, economically, and militarily, rejecting any dependence on foreign powers. The irony is, I'm in Razon, a region actively experimenting with foreign trade and investment. It seems like we're living in a world where Even North Korea can't survive without outside support. Can you explain to me what these big circles on the floor are?
That's standing point.
Yeah.
So special occasions are represent President Kim Il Sung and
Yeah.
President General Kim Jong Il.
Yeah.
To have a grand standing here.
Okay.
Young people, students.
On the birthdays of the leaders, students will come around and they'll do some kind of choreographed dancing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And what does this say over here? This big sign?
Yeah. Long live the revolutionary idea of the great comrade Kim Jong Un. Korea is a socialist country. The first criterion for the calling socialist country, first one is education completely free. It also very easy to handle back. National tend out discussion on how to make it better.
So Marshall Kim Jong-un had these ideas
Yes, ideas
to make this and make this bigger. And that was his ideas that he implemented. Interesting.
What about this? It's a pink forest. Yes, okay. Now think about why the rainforests are endangered and what you have to do to protect them. Okay? Yes. Discuss in groups and play some roles. Oh, hi, Sarah. Hi. Can you see beautiful flowers? Yes. Look at me. I'm that little right here. It's the Oh my God. Heavens. Oh, what's the matter? Oh, Snow White. Yes. No, there's just that woman because of just that woman.
Hello, my name is Michael. Can you say Michael? Perfect. Perfect. I'm from, can anyone guess what country? England. Fantastic. Well done. Wow, and what's your name?
My name is Kim Jin-hyun.
Put your hands up if your favorite subject is English. You like English? Cool. What's your favorite thing about English?
My favorite thing is conversation.
Conversation. Me too. I love conversation. You're the English teacher. Nice to meet you. Michael, nice to meet you. What do you like about the countryside? Beautiful?
Under the wise leadership of our first Imam Kim-il-sung, the countryside has been changing.
Yes. I don't know. No, how is it being changed?
Now, new houses were built and
Yes.
also gymnasium, park, swimming pool, and
Yeah.
so on were also built. Do you like daughters and sons?
Do I have a daughter? I have no children, but I think I would like to have a daughter. Because girls are much nicer than boys. Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think girls are more polite. Boys are not polite. What do you think?
I think so, but it's very different on every person. Some boys are more polite than girls.
Okay.
I think you are.
Thank you so much. One day, would you like to
Smart,
visit
boy.
any
All
other
gonna be
countries?
smart.
Yeah? What countries would you like to visit?
England because I learned English.
Yeah.
And then Chinese and so on.
Very cool. I've been to China. Very nice, very beautiful country.
How many times have you been to China?
I've been to China 3 times. Yeah. 1 year ago, I traveled across all of China with a truck driver. His name was Mr. Chen, and he was awesome.
How long did it take?
It took me about 5 days. Yeah.
Have
Thank
a
you,
nice
guys.
trip.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're about to see possibly the most cringy performance anyone has ever given on a volleyball court in the history of forever. to see is the very latest #1 chart-topping single released by the DPRK, performed by the Children's Academy of Rajin. It's called Friendly Father.
It's dark. What up? What up? I knew it was dark, man.
While we enjoy some little North Korean space aliens dancing, I thought I'd share my thoughts on this experience. Almost every song that comes out of the DPRK is, as expected, a tool of worship towards the country's current or former leaders. The recurring theme throughout this trip was the utter devotion people had towards Kim Jong-un. While I'm fully aware that they probably don't have much choice in the matter, since openly speaking out against the leadership would lead to arrest, the public image of Kim Jong-un is more than that of a leader. To them, he's a god. This is so weird. That was a performance for about 20 people, and it lasted 30 minutes, and it was probably better than the opening of the Paris Olympics.
North Korea has the strictest laws on the planet, and some of them do not make any sense. If you do not follow these simple rules, then you can be sentenced to death. Do you remember that college student named Otto Warmbier who stole a poster off the wall and then he was put in labor camps? Well, that actually happened while I was in North Korea back in 2017. Right now, behind me, you can hear all of the singers and dancers preparing for Kim Il-sung's birthday, which is in a few days. You can take that as your first crazy law that you cannot break. Do not steal any posters off the wall of the president. And with that being said, here are 7 more crazy laws. Number 1, you can only watch government TV. There are only 4 channels in North Korea. All of them are censored, showing you what the leader, Kim Jong-un, wants you to see. Can you imagine a world without Netflix? Not even fair news or cable? And only members of the elite can use the internet? And forget about all the American movies or pop music. Illegally accessing any of that can lead you to the death penalty. Number 2, no international calls. If you live in North Korea, you are completely isolated from the outside world. It is unlikely that you know somebody in another country to begin with, but if you do or wanted to, then you just don't have the option. This is because there's only one mobile phone service with 3 million subscribers. That's it. If you want to call someone, you can only do it domestically. So if you live in North Korea and have a family member or a friend who has escaped, the chances are you'll never hear from them again. Number 3, you need permission to live in the capital. People who live in Pyongyang are handpicked by the government. This includes the wealthy elite and those with special ties to the Kim family. When you see images from North Korea on the internet, chances are it's Pyongyang, and that is the exact city that I spent 4 days in. I'm about to run the Pyongyang Marathon, and tens of thousands of people behind me. The leadership wants to display a pristine image about who lives there, and this is where you'll most likely visit if you ever make the journey to North Korea. Number 4, owning a microwave is illegal. On top of a massive food crisis, North Korea is not doing so well in the realm of energy and electricity. Power cuts are common, if not every night, especially in the provinces, and sometimes you even need permission to use electricity. That being said, microwaves are a big no-no and used as a big waste of energy. Number 5, your whole family is punished if you break the law. This is called the 3-generation rule. So if you use electricity when you're not supposed to, or insult the supreme leader in any way, shape, or form, then the people in your family will be sent to labor camps. That includes your parents, grandparents, siblings, kids, or even unborn kids that will have to carry your sentence. For this reason, crime in North Korea is very low because people are living in fear of getting themselves or their loved ones
Afraid.
Number
What they
6,
try to
do
do,
not
still
smile on
fearing you.
holidays. Perhaps holidays isn't even the right word here.
Afraid.
Every year on the anniversary of the death of Kim Jong-un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, the entire country enters a period of mandated mourning. If you smile, or even worse, if you laugh, it is a massive insult and you can pay the price of your life. Did you know that every North Korean must keep a portrait of Kim Il-sung in their house? To me, it's absolutely bizarre to see how leaders here are treated like gods. Number 7, the government must approve your haircut. There are only 28 permissible hairstyles in North Korea, 18 for women and 10 for men. Under this mandate, married women keep shorter hair, and you'll be sure to see what options you have in any barbershop. This is a fairly new law, but it has one exception, and that exception is Kim Jong-un himself, who wants to keep his look very unique. I mean, I gotta ask you guys, how would you feel if you were told what hairstyle you could get, or if you couldn't take a picture of something or someone? It is by far the saddest and the most isolated country in the world, and a country that I think about pretty often. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned something about North Korea, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
This is Kim Jong-un, ruler of North Korea. He's just 36 years old, but he commands the world's 4th largest military. He has nuclear weapons, and his family has ruled over their people using violence and terror for over 70 years. But Kim is a man torn between 2 worlds. The traditions of his brutal communist past, and the need to become a legitimate, modern leader.
That is his dilemma. Am I going to come out and become a cleaner, softer dictator, or am I going to continue to retain this criminal regime that I inherited from my grandfather and my father? And that dilemma, you know what? It could be the end of the Kim dynasty.
Kim Jong-un is only the 3rd man to rule North Korea. He's following his grandfather and father in the role of supreme leader. They rule over their people as gods. In the 10th year of his rule, Kim Jong-un is at a crossroads. He's a dictator with a decision to make. Should he try to drag North Korea into the modern world and become a legitimate country, but risk losing his grip on power? Or should he continue to run a rogue state like his grandfather and father before him?
If I compare it to a movie, I would say it's Godfather 3. And that's when Michael Corleone wants to become a legitimate businessman and head of a business conglomerate out from the shadows of the mafia regime that he inherited. But without the mafia state, the Kim regime would not function. Why? Because it is under heavy sanctions, the only way that it can make hard currency is by illicit trade. The North Korean regime is in many respects a huge criminal cartel.
Guns, drugs, counterfeit cash, and cybercrime bring in an estimated $2 billion a year for Kim to spend.
That's his personal piggy bank. And that is the way the Kim Jong-un regime is sustained.
Recently, Kim has shown signs of modernizing. He's been stepping out with his first lady and meeting other world leaders. But in 2017, he was dragged back into his family business. This is his elder half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, who was overlooked for succession. He left North Korea for a quiet life in China, surfacing on camera from time to time to speak out against the regime. But then it seemed Kim Jong-nam crossed a line.
During the course of my reporting, I was told by a person with good connections to the intelligence community in the United States that Kim Jong-nam had in fact been an informant to the CIA and was supplying information about Kim Jong-un to them.
These CCTV images show him meeting his suspected handler. A fascinated news media shadowed his every move.
He still had very good connections to the regime. So for the CIA to be able to recruit Kim Jong-nam as an informer and to get whatever information he had, it would have been a huge deal for them. This would also have been considered very treasonous by Kim Jong-un.
It seems the time had come for Kim to deal with his older brother. February 13th, 2017. Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Kim Jong-un's brother enters the terminal, unaware that two female assassins are also at the airport. Now, for the first time on television, one of the assassins tells her full, extraordinary story. It begins with her being recruited by a man who claimed to be a TV producer.
Pada waktu pertama saya kenal James tuh orangnya baik, terus kayak lucu juga kan, ikut syuting, nggak tahu ikut syuting di mana, saya bilang kan syuting kayak buat lucu-lucuan gitu, lucu-lucuan gimana, kayak gimana ya, terkenal kayak boom-boom prank. Jadi saya juga mikirnya, oh ya udahlah gitu.
For months, Kim Jong-un's agents groomed City and another young woman to ambush unsuspecting members of the public and smother their faces with cosmetic creams in what they thought were hidden camera show stunts.
Saya kerap dan sering itu melakukan prank, dipakai hand body dan pakai baby gitu, baby oil gitu. Jadi saya rasa ya seperti biasa aja gitu.
City's handler arranges a meeting at a cafe in the airport. There, she is to receive details of the
I went to North Korea and I cried at
of the target.
Terus pas hari hanya kan, kebetulan kan memang di KLI kan lumayan rame. Nanti kalau misalnya kalau kamu acting yang ini ya katanya bagus ini, nanti kemungkinan bos juga akan kasih kamu bonus lagi. Dia ke saya udah bilang itu orangnya gitu. Pas tuh saya bilang yang mana gitu kan, itu yang pakai jaket warna abu-abu katanya gitu kan, yang mana itu, oh yang botak bilang kan. Kasih oh ya gitu saya ke tangan saya gitu.
This time, it isn't baby oil, but a deadly nerve agent. As Kim Jong-un's brother heads to his flight, the two women make their move.
Langsung kayak mengamuk gitu, habis ngamuk saya juga grogi, cepat mungkin kan meninggalkan juga, ya udah aku juga buru-buru.
Seeking help, Kim Jong-nam heads for the airport's medical facility.
So at this point, Kim Jong-nam is in the infirmary, and he is behind the door. And this is where this image gets very scary. There's a gentleman in all black walking near this door, okay? And he's got a rolling suitcase. He's checking in to make sure that Kim Jong-nam is receiving medical treatment. This is one of the operatives. It's a very elaborate operation. It's very old school.
The operation plays out like a Cold War spy caper. There are lookout men, a chemist to handle the nerve agent, a getaway driver, and a team leader, codenamed Grandpa. The young women have no idea what they've done. They are soon apprehended by the local Malaysian police.
Polisi juga nanya-nanya apa yang kamu lakukan di airport itu. Emangnya kenapa? Saya bilang kan. Terus polisi itu tiba-tiba bangun, kamu tahu nggak apa yang kamu lakuin katanya. Kamu itu terlibat pembunuhan oleh adiknya presiden.
The trial creates shockwaves around the world.
She's been charged for the most serious crime in the country, the crime of murder. For the offense of murder, there's only one punishment, and that's death by hanging.
Soon, the chemist of the gang is also apprehended. camera getting his story straight with North Korean embassy officials. This video evidence helped to build a picture of a ruthless political assassination. Both women were released after spending 2 years in prison.
Sebelum kejadian ini terjadi, saya nggak tahu menahu tentang Kim Jong Un. Nggak nyangka bisa sejauh ini terlibat terlibat kasus pembunuhan.
Kim Jong-un's troublesome older brother was no more.
Kim Jong-un's half-brother died in such a terrible, humiliating way on camera. And Kim probably was very pleased that he was able to watch all of this.
Amid sobering scenes broadcast around the world, Kim Jong-nam's body is brought back to North Korea. It's accompanied by the same men spotted in the airport on the day he was murdered.
It was absolutely to send a message to do it in such a public way to everybody in North Korea and elsewhere that Kim will find you.
To understand Kim Jong-un, it's helpful to know the world he grew up in. Deep beneath the surface of North Korea, his father created an elaborate hidden kingdom that his children inhabited.
North Korea has a separate parallel geography that exists outside of anything North Korean citizens would know about. It's a secret network that includes roads, railways, and tunnel systems. It's a way of concealing Kim's whereabouts from spy satellites. Currently, we're looking at Kim Jong-un's Kangdong VIP complex. Kangdong complex is one of the favorite complexes of the Kim family. Kim Jong-un spent a lot of time there as a child. So this is a portal tunnel. We can see the tunnel entrance. There's a road that goes under the Taedong River. So what Kim Jong-un could do is, instead of going across that bridge, he would go through that tunnel, and that tunnel would take him under the Taedong River, into tunnels under mountains, to some unknown locale. And I call it the road to nowhere.
It's believed there are some 8,000 tunnels in North Korea, reaching up to 1,000 feet below the surface. Some tunnels are thought to extend more than 30 miles, including an emergency escape route into China.
So basically, Kim Jong-un can work in his office, take an elevator to a sub-basement level, get into a small motorcade, drive underground. And that explains a lot about Kim Jong-un's personality. Kim Jong-un grew up like that. This has been his entire life.
The early years of Kim Jong-un's childhood indoctrinated him in the ways of the Kim dynasty.
Kim Jong-un grew up in this extremely dysfunctional, paranoid, secretive family. It was impossible for Kim Jong-un to be a normal child. He was named the Little General. He had a real Colt pistol. He had real generals bowing to him.
His father was Kim Jong-il, one of the most notorious dictators in history, a man with a passion for banquets, cognac, and Bond movies.
Kim Kim Jong-il was generally paranoid. Around this period of time for Kim Jong-un, there's a lot of restrictions on his movements and activity. And they have to bring in playmates. Well, you'd think they bring in other 7 or 8-year-old children, but you're starting to talk about 30 or 40-year-old bodyguards. And so Kim Jong-un grows up very close to his bodyguards because these are his playmates.
Of all of Kim Jong-il's bodyguards, only one is known to have escaped North Korea.
그러니까 그만큼 자상경을 받을까? 죽음으로 보답하는 게 김정일이 경호원이고 김정일이 친일이에요. 그때 당시에는 그 젊었으니까 기백이 넘치고. 그래서 첫째는 총이에요. 김정일이하고 이런 총 쏘는 거, 태권도 하는 거 이거 많이 즐겨서 빅토리 한 11장씩 하고 계속 타기 훈련을 하고 그러다가 이게 흔적이에요.
The bodyguard also remembers the current ruler of North Korea.
정문이를 보고 정철이를 보고 여정이를 보고 배짱에 나왔는데 그때 작잖아요. 그러니까 그게 비밀적으로 유지하고 김정은은 집안에서 갇혀서 나서 6년 됐잖아요. 다른 애들하고 만나는 일이 없으니까. 제가 생각해보면은 많이 외로웠죠.
Today, Kim Jong-un still surrounds himself with these bodyguards. He has expanded the program, adding an elite unit to handle internal threats.
The guys that protect him, despite the fact that they wear suits, these people are very similar to SAS or Navy SEALs in terms of their skills and training. They inspect his food. If you had a sack of rice, that sack of rice is scrutinized and inspected for any irregular grains. And so every bag of rice is a perfect bag of rice. They bring his toilet. There's a portable toilet because they don't want a foreign intelligence agency getting a hold of his feces and then analyzing the blood contents for whatever diseases he might have.
So Kim Jong-un's psychology is deeply rooted in his father's totalitarian regime. But there is another side to Kim's experience. His school days in the West. Kim Jong-un is changing his country with a new style of leadership. It includes photo ops, North Korean style. Many think he's been influenced by the time he spent as a teenager in Switzerland. Living in the care of his maternal aunt and uncle, Kim Jong-un attended a regular public school in Bern.
My name is Nikola Kovacevic, and I know Kim Jong-un from my school in Switzerland. So this is pretty much Un as I remember him, wearing a typical sports outfit, very American. He was wearing Chicago Bulls shirts, shorts, and Michael Jordan shoes. We were quite impressed by that. We were playing basketball and Un was looking for people to play with. I'll never forget him with a, cheeky smile on his face, at the basketball court. We pretty much just played constantly. He was very, very passionate. You could clearly see that he wants to win. He was very good, very quick. He was on a completely different level than you might think by looking at the pictures from today. We all liked having him in our team. We did have interesting chats about North Korea. There was one occasion where I was just asking something like, how is it there? And I remember him saying that North Korea is very, very advanced. It's going to be a big player in the future. You can definitely say that he was proud of his country.
He really enjoyed kind of the life of being a rich kid in Europe. He saw NBA games in Paris. He went off skiing in the Swiss Alps.
But back in North Korea, there are changes inside the family. Kim Jong-un's mother is dying of cancer, which means Kim's aunt and uncle are about to lose their connection to the dynasty. Fearing they may be cast aside, they decide to act. Slipping out of the house under cover of darkness, his aunt and uncle take refuge in the U.S. Embassy. Claiming political asylum, they are spirited away to a military base in Germany.
Kim Jong-un was at home. They did not say goodbye. They left him in the middle of the night. It must have been an extremely traumatic experience for Kim Jong-un to be abandoned like that.
After debriefing by the CIA, Kim's aunt and uncle are given new identities, flown to the U.S., and vanish from sight.
For the past 20 years, they have been living this completely anonymous life in Middle America, running a dry cleaners. So nobody knows their true identities.
But journalist Anna Fifield tracked them down and arranged a meeting.
I did not expect them to show up, and even like that morning when they called to say they were on their way to where we'd agreed to meet, I was surprised when they showed up. Kim Jong-un's aunt walked into the cafe. Like, I caught my breath because she looked exactly like her sister, Kim Jong-un's mother. And I spent the entire weekend with them talking about Kim Jong-un, about, what he was like as a child. And they described him as a normal kid who was a little bit misunderstood. Quite strange. I distinctly remember sitting on the couch there with them. At the time, Kim Jong-un was launching missiles.
The projectile was fired from a 2,000-ton submarine, and South Korean military officials believe the missile's rocket booster did ignite.
There's Kim Jong-un in a submarine looking at missiles, and the uncle said, they never say anything good about him.
Kim Jong-un never completes his studies in Europe. Age 17, he's recalled to North Korea. Within a decade, Kim will find himself the supreme leader of the most repressive dictatorship on Earth.
He had lived in the West, he had seen freedom up close. So when he took over, a lot of people thought that he would be a reformer. And in fact, early on in his tenure, he stood up and he said that North Koreans would never have to tighten their belts again. So if he wants to remain in power for decades, he can't just hold on like his father did. He really has to show an improvement in the standard of living inside North Korea.
Kim Jong-un is the only ruler of North Korea to have lived in the West. And his time in Switzerland left its mark on the supreme leader.
Kim Jong-un, in the early years of his rule, I saw this desire for his country to be more worldly, for his people to be more worldly.
In 2012, Kim ordered the construction of a ski resort near his capital, Pyongyang. More alpine centers followed, complete with all the après-ski parks.
I was one of the first foreigners to visit a little piece of Switzerland in North Korea. I could see the wheels turning in Kim Jong-un's head. Around that time, there was a lot of hope and speculation that this would be a moment for a very different type of North Korea.
Kim builds his citizens theme parks and shopping malls, all in the name of North Korea's bright economic future.
So we see the development of things like amusement parks, high-end restaurants, department stores. All of these things are also part of the Kim brand. It's designed to show his people that Kim is going to move the country forward.
In the drive to rebrand his kingdom, Kim has an ally, his celebrity wife.
Ri Sol-ju was a famous singer in North Korea. She would be instantly recognizable to any North Korean who's ever watched TV.
In 2018, Kim changes his wife's official title from comrade to First Lady.
She has a very distinct role. She's very much like the Kate Middleton of North Korea. She is there to kind of humanize her husband, but also the two of them together are supposed to be a kind of modern, aspirational couple. They're showing the future of North Korea.
Leading North Korea into the future presents Kim with another challenge. In a digital age shaped by the internet and social media, Kim is under pressure to ensure his people are left behind.
If he's going to rule for decades to come, he has to build his loyalty base. He wants to woo his generation. So he started experimenting with internet access, expanding cell phone access. Those are all monumental changes for a country like North Korea.
Recently, Kim has gone further, authorizing North Korea's very own social media stars.
This is where a big concert is going to take place. The occasion is to celebrate the music.
They even have their own influencers now.
People want living. They want living.
What they
It's like
portray
structure.
is a socialist fairyland. It's just absolutely amazing. And it's so carefully cultivated.
I'm gonna show you how I traded 60 seconds or less. All right, so step one, what you're gonna want to do is find your daily bias. So you want to find your daily highs.
Their role is to seduce people, to fall in love with the country. It's a smart strategy. But on the other hand, access to information is one of the most dangerous things for a leader like Kim Jong-un. Because if people see what life is like outside of North Korea, the illusion could be broken. And that, of course, for Kim Jong-un, is terrifying.
Right now.
For 75 years, the Kim family has relied on strength and terror for their survival. As Kim Jong-un attempts to transform himself from godlike tyrant to an approachable human leader, he needs backup within the family to maintain the dynasty's grip on power. But who can he rely on?
Around 2001, Kim Jong-un's father takes a train across Russia. The Russian ambassador is having conversations with him, and he asks him about succession. And he asks Kim Jong-il, who are your favorites as successor? And Kim Jong-il said, well, my sons are all idle blockheads. Okay? It's my daughters that have the heart and intellect and mindset to be in politics.
Born 4 years after Kim Jong-un in 1988, Kim Yo-jong is nicknamed the Sweet Princess. Until the death of her father in 2011, Kim Yo-jong's existence was a closely guarded secret, even inside North Korea.
After Kim Jong-il died, with the succession of her brother, there was probably a conversation. Do you want to do this? Do you want to be involved in the nitty-gritty of North Korean politics? Some people don't have the ice in their veins to do it. Some people do. She said yes, and that's where we find ourselves today.
Quietly, Kim Yo-jong rose through the ranks to become her brother's propaganda chief. In 2018, he deployed his sister on her first foreign assignment, a mission inside enemy territory.
It was a really huge occasion when Kim Yo-jong arrived into South Korea, because she was the only member of the Kim family who had arrived in the South since the Korean War ended in 1953. So it was a really big deal.
The occasion was the Winter Olympics, dubbed the Peace Olympics, as athletes from North and South Korea competed together for the first time.
There was an ice hockey game where the two Korean teams joined together as one, and she was in the stands in the VIP section. I was able to walk down to see her in the flesh. She was very kind of enigmatic. She always had this kind of sphinx-like smile on her face. She said very little,
So she became a real object of fascination at that time amongst South Koreans.
But Kim's sister hasn't just come south of the border to show face. With the eyes of the world on her, she opens peace talks with the South Korean leadership. Kim Yo-jong is becoming indispensable to the family firm.
She is the one that approves all the media and press and writing that comes out in English in North Korea. Any piece of paper and any email that gets directed to Kim Jong-un is most likely viewed by her. And that's a critical thing to have.
The sweet princess isn't only Kim Jong-un's right-hand woman. Recently, she's become a deadly player in her own right.
I believe there have been people that have been shot on the orders of Kim Yo-jong. That's Kim Yo-jong's psychology. She's a shark.
In the sign of her growing power, in 2020, Kim Jong-un promotes his sister over his own generals to the highest level of the Politburo.
Kim Yo-jong's prominence has dramatically increased in 2020. The thing that's most striking is she's gone from a role of being in the background to actually being a voice of the regime.
Kim's sister goes on the attack, threatening South Korean activists who continue to drop propaganda leaflets over the border.
엄중한 션 사태가 쓰레기들의 반공화국비라 살포 망동과 그를 묵인한 남조선 당국 때문에 철회되었다는 것은 누구나 다 아는 사실이다.
She is the only individual who has been able to put out a personal opinion in North Korean state media. Even the leader himself very rarely is going to express any sort of personal opinion. This means that she has a unique, special, and privileged role in the North Korean regime.
Amid rising tensions between North and South Korea, in June 2020, Kim Yo-jong sends South Korea a message. Blowing up the government complex used for talks between the two sides.
Korean experts say the explosion was designed to cement the growing power of Pyongyang leader.
Are you a low-skilled worker looking to immigrate to Canada? Look no further. This video will discuss the
Kim Jong-un's younger sister, Kim Yo-jong. In recent years, state media has referred to her as a central party cadre, indicating her tightening grip on power. This year, she took over some of her brother's roles in party affairs and foreign relations. Sources suggest she is now the real power holder in Pyongyang.
Now she is continually, even outside of her actual rank and position, bashing South Korea and the United States. This is a role that normally is reserved only for the Supreme Leader. It's classic North Korean provocation.
It seems Kim is on his way to resolving his dilemma: how to modernize the country without losing control. The answer: a duel to